Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to talk about my experiences in Normandy. Of course, these stories are gonna be quite personal, so please excuse me for that. But before we start, I would like to remind everyone that only 20% of everyone who's watching is subscribed to my YouTube channel. So if you're not, make sure to hit that button. If you're already subscribed, this also goes for the people who are not yet subscribed. Please hit the like button, please leave a comment. These comments really encourage me to make more YouTube videos, likes as well, views as well, subscriptions as well. So if you could do any of these or maybe even one of these, I would really appreciate it, and it does help the channel out tremendously. So anyway, I'm going to tell you quite a personal story in the beginning, and then afterwards I'll tell you my experiences. So basically, when I was younger, and still do to a certain extent, I did have a lot of ear infection issues. And I've already shared this before on my channel. And yeah, it was really tough on me. And especially the second operation and the third one was really tough as well. But I think mostly the second one mentally in preparation for it, of course, was really tough for me. So my parents decided to do something fun after the operation. I believe that was in 2022. And we went to Normandy, especially because I already was a history buff even prior to making this YouTube channel. Or well, like a wannabe armchair historian history buff, which knew a lot less than I know now, but still someone who thoroughly enjoyed history. Anyway, back then I was mostly interested in World War II. Of course, now a lot has changed. I'm more widespread in my interest, but not really relevant to this story, of course. Anyway, we went to Normandy, and we've seen a lot of beautiful things. My mother actually is also quite interested in history, particularly in World War II, and yeah, she was really interested. She discovered literally everything we were going to do on that little holiday of maybe a week, and very well thought out, of course. And we arrived at Gold Beach, I believe, with the Churchill. Really beautiful. The dog could play there. Absolutely very nice. Lovely to see. Very nice experience. The locals were amazing, especially according to my parents. Very kind, very patient, stuff like that. Very nice. And then we made our way, of course, through to the next beaches. And there's this one picture which I will put on screen. I think now, maybe next to my head or front screen, doesn't really matter. But and that was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Right? You would have the Sherman tank overlooking the beach from an elevated position, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, definitely very beautiful. That's a very vivid memory for me. Though the hills, walking on those hills, is also a very vivid memory, which back then I didn't really like. Back then I had a way harder time with those hills than I would do now. So yeah, we did visit a couple of museums as well. One of those museums had a Panzer IV with the Schutzen and the 75mm and the L-48. Also actually had a Panther tank, which I'm not sure if it was that one, but it was partially open, I think. Maybe it could be another one as well. But anyway, a Panther tank. You had Sherman tanks. You would have the Wolverine, a lot of Chaffees, an M8A1. So many diverse tanks and vehicles. And especially at that time, I was really interested in tanks. I was really into that. And yeah, that was a great museum, even if I did leave a bit early because, you know, I had to go to the toilet and it was really hot back then. And my legs were really getting tired. I'm not very good at standing or walking for very long. Even if I've lost like 25 kilograms compared to 4 years ago, I still am not very enthusiastic about standing for long periods or walking a lot of the time, right? So anyway, after that we've also visited like these coastal navy guns, which were there to shoot at big ships, of course, laying wait there, with the bunker still intact and the gun still partially intact, not operational though, of course not, because a lot of children also came to visit. A lot of these school trip buses were there, and kids were really loud, of course, to our slight annoyance. But looking back at it, it's definitely a positive thing that schools decide to take the children to such historical, important monuments. So looking back at it, definitely a great thing, right? And I think lastly, what really made an impact on me was, you guys know the scene, right, of Private Ryan sitting at the cemetery and saying goodbye to his former colleagues, to his former brothers at the cemetery, and he's growing older there. We were there actually at that cemetery, and it's very, very popular. A lot of people are there. But at first I went in with my father, and we just walked around, mostly actually quiet, to respect, of course, the dead, but also to really take it in. I mean, keep in mind the amount of dead people, right? A lot of people had died. So we really wanted to show some respect to those people who came and freed, of course, our country. The people who died at Pegasus Bridge, the people who died at Cannes, the people who died during the jumps, the people who died during the landings, and it all just makes such an impression. And that's the beautiful part, right? And once we went back, me and my father were done. He went out with my mother. He went back to the cemetery. I was able to, take a back seat in the camper. But the radio was still playing, and I was with my dog Skylar, and I put on this song from Iron Maiden, "The Longest Day," and this is a very vivid memory. I was just sitting there and I was listening to that song. I think I played it like thrice, maybe 4 times, and I was literally just bawling my eyes out because it was so emotional, thinking about the people who died there. And the song is hits really hard when you're at such a cemetery, right? That was really, really crazy to me, and it still really is. So yeah, and then we went back to the Netherlands. Not immediately, of course. We also visited like a German cemetery, which was a lot smaller, but still a lot of people died, and it really left an impression. I think Normandy in general is like one of the greatest experiences, especially regarding history and historical knowledge, I've ever had. And it was a lot of fun, all things considered, and very, very interesting, and I've learned so much about history back there. So yeah. Anyway, if you are interested in going to Normandy, maybe sometime, please do. It's gonna be such a great experience. The people there are wonderful, and it's just a must-see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, sub, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you. Ciao.